At the latest event of Tian Hairong, a Chinese female tycoon and one of the suspects in the Yu Menglong case, Yu Menglong's shadow was spotted. On the live stream, netizens commented, "Look, look, the shadow behind Tian." At first, I thought it was AI generated. After checking several videos of the event, it was confirmed to be real. Tian Hairong was giving a speech at the premiere of her self-directed and self-acted film, My World Without Me. While this might have been the shadow of another guest, it had a striking effect, a recreation of Yu Menglong. The film received a large number of negative reviews even before its release. Tian appeared emotional during her speech, loudly appealing for love for others, even strangers. She even shed tears. However, netizens were completely unmoved, and the live stream was filled with sarcastic comments. In the past 2 months, the dark side of the Chinese entertainment industry has been exposed with astonishing force. In this episode, we'll walk through this process. The heartbreaking aspect of the Yu Menglong case is that if he had chosen to collude with the corrupt, he could very well be incredibly wealthy today. While being sidelined, he quietly donated to charity and went to Yunnan province to volunteer as a teacher for children. He loved singing and acting. He simply chose to be a decent person, yet he suffered extremely cruel abuse. Netizens claim that the sudden dimming of the lights during the red carpet photo shoot wasn't an accident, but rather an industry rule. Lights off means the artist cannot be promoted. Therefore, for a long time, Yu actually knew everything. However, he always stood tall and acted according to his principles. Later, Yu often appeared in public with signs of being hurt. His shoes were very large, leading netizens to suspect that he was forced to wear an electronic tracking device. However, Yu never gave in.
What aspects of your appearance are you dissatisfied with?
Too thin. I want to be healthier.
What quality do you like most in a man?
Perseverance.
What is the most perfect happiness?
Being with family and friends.
There were 45 trademarks, and some belonged to the 13th category, arms, under his name, and was also listed in several shell companies, which were all dissolved and their accounts emptied within a year. This isn't entertainment brokerage. It's a shadow game of money laundering by state-owned enterprises. And it's not just about commercial crimes like money laundering. Many Chinese netizens, after the Yu Menglong incident, suddenly understood some details about Chinese celebrities. Look, Zhao Zhan, a well-known Chinese male star, carries a white thermos. Whether clinking glasses with others or shaking hands with influential figures, he firmly holds on to that thermos.
Zhao Zhan needs to drink water on set. His assistant frequently hands him a water cup. One actor noticed that the cup was different each time. He estimated that Zhao Zhan might have over a dozen water cups on set. Why would he do this? Zhao Zhan was afraid that if his water cup was recognized, people might do something bad to him, so he was taking precautions against that.
Besides Zhao Zhan, other celebrities do the same, all carrying their own cups. Some stars also try to avoid dining with colleagues. Let's look at the interviews with Song Yiren, a suspect in the Yu Menglong case, and actor Gong Jun.
When we get together for drinks, we asked him to join. Normally, about 8 times, and he only come once.
Looking at Gong Jun's attire, one can understand his caution. Many Chinese netizens also suddenly understood a statement made by Hu Ge, a top Chinese male star. "If I don't transform, my life will be over." Hu Ge was in a car accident in 2006. That accident was actually quite strange. His assistant passed away as a result. In 2015, Hu Ge became a top male star in period dramas due to his leading role in Nirvana in Fire. Around 2017, he suddenly became unkempt and slovenly, and even went to the United States to study for 3 months. At the time, no one understood why he would leave acting at the height of his popularity to go abroad. The Chinese entertainment industry has the deep traps long beyond sleeping issues. It's a dangerous game of survival. One of the unique aspects of the Yu Menglong case is that it has attracted worldwide public attention, even with the involvement of numerous spiritual mediums, including British medium Tai William, American medium Candace Starr, and Taiwanese spiritual mentor Zhu Yu. Yu Menglong is strikingly handsome. Surprisingly, he also speaks fluent English. Previously, Yu's high school teacher had said that he was very good at English.
Ah, Sunflower by William Blake. Ah, sunflower, weary of time, who contest the step of the song, seeking after that sweet golden climb, where the traveler's journey is down.
Yu Menglong's good English seems to be useful here. The spiritual mediums are conveying messages to Yu Menglong's spirit. These interwoven talking, mutually corroborating each other, revealed to a global audience the horrific practices, including human sacrifice as gifts, the underground detention of many Chinese entertainers who are seen as playthings and prey of the CCP elite, people being treated like cars, the parts being replaced, especially from very new cars, the extreme exploitation of new cars, including their blood, and targeted entertainers being treated like food in its real meaning, ordered by powerful or wealthy individuals, with the act of consumption broadcast live. If it were only the medium's claims, perhaps they wouldn't have had such a significant impact, because you might think, after all, these claims lack concrete evidence. What's astonishing is that in the 2 months prior and during this period, multiple news stories simultaneously broke, seemingly verifying the medium's claims. This includes the sudden declaration by CCP leader Xi Jinping in front of the world's cameras that humans can live to 150 years old, and that 70-year-olds are still very young. Several Chinese entertainment celebrities, including Jet Li, suddenly transforming from extremely frail and aged to unusually young and healthy. The arrest of the head of the Southeast Asian Prince Group by the United States, whose money, besides being involved in telecom fraud, was largely derived from money laundering and replacing parts between the new and long-time used ones. One of the group's money laundering methods was making movies, specifically anti-fraud films. The true mastermind behind this group is the CCP. If you are interested in this news, you can watch my 2 previous videos. In those industrial parks in Southeast Asia, the conditions for those detained are appalling. Young women are forced into specific jobs. Women in their 40s are forced into another.
This involves babies. One will have 2 or 3 at a time. Why 2 or 3 at a time? Because this involves an industry chain specializing in producing.
This masked man said he had gone undercover in those industrial parks in Southeast Asia. The babies are conceived through in vitro fertilization. After birth, the industrial parks transferred them to so-called life science parks.
The price is $500,000 per one, so 3 would be $1.5 million. Women who have 3 at once can generate $1.5 million for them in a year. You should know what life science parks do.
Here, I'll use a little car as a substitute. The little car is placed in a glass box and cannot move freely. When it's 6 months old, someone comes and takes the liquid from the pillar in the center of its back.
Because this bone marrow contains something called growth factor. Regenerative stem cells are then cultivated from it. Many people have only heard of hematopoietic stem cells, not regenerative stem cells. These regenerative stem cells can make old people back to younger. Let me show you what their advertisement says. This is what the Life Science Academy says, overnight rejuvenation. It can even let you live to 120 years old.
知道吗？这个地方就是狼眼，这就知道吗？
This place is Cambodia.
This blogger says that the highest purity extracted from one syringe can be used to make 3 doses. Each syringe has a market price of $700,000.
这种500万都是那些
These are only affordable for celebrities or the wealthy. So each extraction can sell for over $2 million. Extractions are done every 6 months.
他就卖1500万。
For the Chinese, they had long sensed that something was wrong. Yu Menglong's story brought to light the unfortunate experiences of other artists, such as Qiao Renliang and Qiu Feng. And these news stories, as they unfolded, evoked a high degree of empathy among the people. According to estimates from cybersecurity research institutions, China had 700 million surveillance cameras after 2021. Simultaneously, big data, facial recognition, and monitoring methods such as health codes and travel codes have proliferated. Chinese police have proudly claimed that locating a person takes only 7 seconds. However, strangely, millions of people go missing in this country every year. In recent years, children and teenagers have been particularly numerous among the missing. At the same time, the number of parts change surgeries performed in this country is staggering. Radio Free Asia reported in 2022 that research institutions estimated, based on the number of existing such surgical centers, beds, and turnover rates in China, that the actual number of transplants performed annually is between 70,000 and 100,000. From 2000 onwards, over 25 years, numerous events have sufficiently demonstrated the massive scale of this state-run business. One young Chinese man, like Yu Menglong, used his life to expose the dark side of Chinese hospitals.
I am an ordinary medical student at Xiangye No. 2 Hospital of Central South University. If you can hear my voice now, it means that I am no longer able to personally answer those unanswered questions. But please believe that every recording and every word I write is an act of dedication to the truth and a reverence for life.
And this hospital happened to be actually controlled by a suspect in the Yu Menglong case, screenwriter Ji Guangguang, whose real name is Li Ming, and who is believed to be the grandson of former Chinese Premier Li Peng. Luo Shuayu, an intern in the transplant department of Xiangya Second Hospital of Central South University in Hunan, mysteriously fell and lost his life in May 2024. Before his passing away, he refused to collect 12 children, which was a requirement of the hospital. Zhang Yu, a nurse at a top-tier hospital in Wuhan, gave an interview to overseas Chinese media after coming abroad. She said, "Patients undergo routine examinations at the hospital, blood tests. These samples are sent out for matching, but the patients have no idea where the samples are sent. Once a match is found, a chain of interests is activated, with someone funding the buyers, and doctors then harvest them under the guise of treating illness. The medical community knows that, except for the cornea, other parts must be obtained while the people is still alive. Otherwise, it is completely ineffective. Such manipulation wouldn't fool the circulating nurses or the head nurse in the operating room throughout the entire surgery." Ms. Zhang said that everyone was simply afraid to speak out or stand up. The consequences of speaking out would be dire. She said, "Isn't it the same as that doctor, Luo Shuayu? Or you will be kicked out of the hospital, lose the job, that's for sure. You can only talk about it secretly at friends' gatherings or at home," she said. "If you say it outside, once it gets out, and there's no substantial evidence, the police will immediately take you away, saying you're spreading rumors. Even with evidence, the authorities will only arrest one person. They don't touch the entire hospital supply chain." As the investigation into Yu Menglong's fall deepens, a dark industrial chain is gradually emerged from the water, spanning specialized specimens, unique food processing, organ trafficking, and the so-called life sciences and immortality. Tracing the investors in this chain, the answer is the Chinese Communist Party. Because the government is at the helm, This chain has been able to overcome various technical hurdles and grow to a massive scale in a short period.